Well, I've been wanting to make this video for such a very long time. I think we're talking many months. I have been screaming from the mountaintops on my live streams since I think like February. Every week, by the way, Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific, so be there to see me live and hear me rant. But I'm starting to see in general that there's just a lot more negativity surrounding Stadia. Even within our own community, there's angst about the platform with the new gen consoles coming around the corner. Then there's me branching out to cover different services on this channel. I'm even starting to see that negativity reach to me on a personal level within comments and messages. But the truth is that this channel wasn't called and isn't called Sunny Stadia. It's called Sunny Cloud Gaming, and there's a reason for that. But despite all of that, as I've gotten to test more services, especially in the last couple weeks, there is still one that stands above the rest. There's one that has the brightest future, and there's one that is truly a pure cloud platform. That one service that made me believe that cloud gaming isn't 5 years away, like everyone says and thinks, but that it's here ready now, ready to go, and that is Stadia without a doubt. And it's why it's my most prominent service covered on this channel. With that said, this video is going to be what I feel that key is that will bring it all together for Stadia to really take off. It's going to be a long process though. It's going to be a long grind. We're going to feel that pressure. We're going to feel that self-doubt, and we're going to worry that our investment is possibly in danger in the future to come. But I'm here to tell you that it's not, and that there's so much to look forward to. But I'm going to give you that one thing that I think will finally make Stadia blow up. With that said, let's talk about what I feel, in my personal opinion, will be that absolute biggest key factor in a cloud platform like Stadia or any other that comes along that wants to break out and be more mainstream and make cloud gaming more acceptable. And without a doubt, that is a cloud-only game that does something like we've never seen before. Think about it, guys. As kids, when we were gaming, when I personally was young, I used to dream about playing a game where I'm like a soldier charging in a battle full of thousands of other players alongside me, in front of me, who I'm about to charge. Or maybe like a Lord of the Rings scenario where a bunch of us are on horses storming a castle with hundreds or thousands defending the keep. Or the last scenario, imagine where we're having a realistic conversation with an NPC in maybe a fantasy setting where they react to a bunch of actions you do in a realistic way versus just like a preset system that is already in place. As a kid, we forget how our imaginations used to imagine these things when we were gaming. Well, at least for me. But the future now potentially holds those keys. Maybe even now, and with the current gen hardware and the future consoles coming here in a few months, they can do it. Heck, they're not even close to coming to those levels, but one potentially can, and that is cloud gaming. That is Stadia. Now, we might still have to keep our expectations realistic when imagining some of these games on these grand scales, but Stadia has that potential to provide the key and bridge that gap. Now, I started digging a tad into what the mindset of those at Stadia headquarters could be, and I came across a curious conversation back in 2019 in which they interviewed Phil Harrison. The reporter asked him about Stadia making their own games and how much content and overall how many games would they need to make. Harrison to which then replied to, "I don't know that it's the volume of games, but more along the lines how a first-party studio can help bring the platform to life in a unique, exclusive way that helps raise the bar for everybody." He also goes on to say, "Oh, that it's what it means when the data center is in your platform. That's what it means when ML and AI become part of the games. That's what it means when conversational understanding and natural language processing from the Stadia controller to the game allow you to chat with an NPC in a believable way." Now, this gentleman went on to ask another question where he asked, "Do you see those things that will make your games different?" There was mention of thousands of people in a battle royale game instead of 100. Then Harrison replied, "Yes." Now, whether it's fun to have a 1000 battle royale was not the point, but more of the technical capability of it. Now, all of this is leading to my point. We all know how popular certain games are. For instance, we have the battle royale games. Fortnite has blown up, 100 players battling it out for that top winner or team. We have Apex Legends, Call of Duty Warzone. I mean, the list goes on. Now, I'm going to use this as my singular example, but this can actually be applied to many genres, many game types. With that said, don't let my example be the only one. Let me know your example in the comments of what type of game could garner massive mainstream attention. Let's go ahead and give Stadia more thoughts, more ideas. But imagine Stadia comes out with a Stadia only game, made with those powerful data centers that can't be replicated on any other system because it has to be powered via the cloud. Let's go ahead and use their example from above. 1,000-player battle royale, maybe in teams of 5. They all drop in at the same time. Now imagine Stream Connect in full force where you can see your teammates on the side of the screen. Now imagine this, it's being streamed on YouTube by the most popular YouTubers, because what else has a 1,000-player battle royale? Imagine crowd play is implemented straight into YouTube for viewers to join the streamer. One giant map, people dying left and right, scrambling to look for gear, and just battling out for that one player to be the top or the top team. Imagine the press a game like this would generate. Imagine how many people would flock to a game like this. Influencers, kids, gamers, people of all kind, because their friends are on this massive frenzy of joining what is this insane game that is 5 to 10 times bigger than anything else they've ever seen before. Then imagine this fact, that we can all play this game on any freaking device. You can play it on your phone via mobile data. You can play it on tablets. You can play it on computers. It does not matter. Maybe you can even play this on your freaking fridge. Maybe you can play this on your little mini TV in your car. We've already seen examples of all of these. Now imagine this is in all countries across the world. If that picture alone doesn't get you excited for the possibilities of what something like Stadia can bring, then I don't know what will. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I'm not even close to worried about Stadia's future. I'm not fretting if a certain third-party game doesn't get announced. If a AAA title isn't coming to the platform, that's not to say that I dismiss anyone's anger, anyone's worry, but in my mind, a platform like Stadia is playing the long game right now. And the truth is, they are not worried about the little things like having a certain game not launch day and date. They are positioning themselves for the future of being accessible in many people's hands. A lot of the current community doesn't understand how popular mobile gaming is in other parts of the countries where it's massive. A lot of people don't have the benefits a lot of us do that are watching this. They don't have fancy TVs. They don't have fancy computers or consoles. So their gaming comes in this small space within their mobile devices. It's easy not to see in front of the trees where we are in our own bubbles and our own mindsets. But I'm not going to do that. Especially as a content creator, I have to look far and away, because maybe I could personally cover a more popular platform or more mainstream genre of games. But cloud gaming in my mind is without a doubt the future, and obviously it couldn't come soon enough, because as gamers we are some of the most impatient bunch, and that includes me. I'm not the exception. But the truth is, eventually, at some point, something like this is going to happen. A game like this will be made, and it will bring on an era of gaming we've never seen before. And when it does, something like Stadia will end up being too big to ignore. So for those who are worried about the future of Stadia or cloud services, I would tell you to sit tight. Enjoy the ride. It is going to be bumpy, and it will get very bumpy. And realize though that you've positioned yourself to be future-proof. And once Stadia gets in the hands of hundreds of millions of people, which it will do, I'll be even less worried about the little things. Because at that point, all these developers will be falling over themselves to be on a platform like Stadia. Well, at least in my opinion, but we'll see. Let me know your thoughts on what I've said here. One reason I wanted to make this video is because the Battle Royale game is just one idea. What other types of games and ideas do you guys have that you would like to see made where you think that it would blow up and have people come and play on a cloud platform like a Stadia, for example? Let me know your thoughts on what else you think could potentially make something like cloud gaming even more mainstream. I'd love to hear all that down below. Subscribe to this channel for all your Stadia content as well as cloud gaming. Hit that thumbs up. I'm Sunny, and I'll see you guys in the cloud.